Come on in. Good, sensational Saturday afternoon, everybody. It's me in the flesh, y'all. I thought I'd come on and show my face because of what I'm cooking today. I need y'all to be looking me right here, dead in the eye. I need to talk to y'all just for a minute, just to tell y'all. The meal that I'm going to prepare today is not for the faint of heart. These are for the true soul food cookers and eaters. I'm going to be doing some trotters, tails, and ears today. Yeah, you heard it. Pig feet, pig tails, and pig ears. I'm going to put them all in one pot, cook them together, stew them down like Mama used to do them years ago, and like I was eating 10 years ago for being Bobby Howell. He loved them. We ate them often, but we had to back off of them. So now, got a dear friend that loves them, so I'm going to prepare this for him today along with some collards, some yellow rice, and some cornbread, of course. So let's get to work on these trotters, tails, and ears and see what we come up with. Let's get over here so you can get a look at them. I bought these at the Piggly Wiggly. And let me tell y'all something other else. I got so excited. I always get excited when I go to the Piggly Wiggly because it's one of those old neighborhood type stores that has all the old, I call it the old meat, the stuff that we used to cook with when we were children. And as you can see, we got the ears here. This is a huge ear. And what I'm doing is just cutting them in half. I've already cut most of them in half. The pig tails, what I'm going to do with the tails is to, like if they got a lot of fat like that, I'm going to trim some of that fat off. Because to me, now you know that fat tastes good. Because if you ever ate pig ears, you already know this is good. You know, fat and grease is what makes stuff taste better. We know that. And we know we're not supposed to have a lot of it, but we're not going to get all excited about that either. I mean, you know, come on, raise your hand if you used to eat pig feet or pig tails, or if you still eat them for that matter. I love them. Tansy and I went out to eat yesterday over in Greenville. And I can't really think the name of the restaurant, but they cook all this kind of food. And as I was over there, I was asked about making some of this for somebody, or about purchasing some. So, truth be told, honey, we ate so much, we forgot to buy some to bring home. And I felt kind of bad about that. So I thought, you know what, Peggy, go to the store and cook the stuff. Because that way you can cook as much as you want and they can have some leftovers. That's the one thing about cooking at home. You always have, well, I do always have something left over. And I can sit and eat as much as I want to. You know, and I'm not promoting eating grease and fat and all that kind of stuff. You know, to each his own. We're grown. We eat what we know that we can handle. So we're going to handle these pig feet, ears, and tails today. Now, I learned when my husband and I were in the military, we were in Florida, and these people that lived in Florida were from, I think they were from either Florida or Louisiana, I can't think of which one, but they used to make a dish called sauce. It's not sauce meat, sliced meat. I know all about that too. I love it. Sauce was when you cut up the pig feet, ears, and tails, but in small pieces, and you cook them, and you put, you know, you make this sauce so it boils down and just, oh, it was just the best. You put it in a bowl and eat it with some cornbread or eat it with some rice. I'm not going to cut them up in small pieces today, but I am going to cut these ears down a little bit. Just roll them over like that. And you know, this meat here is tough until it gets done cooking. It is amazing when it's done. It's so nice and soft, and if you don't cook them too much, they are real kind of got like a chewy sort of texture to them. I love them either way. And you remember, we used to go down to the cafe, honey. You get you a pig ear sandwich. Now, who don't? Okay, raise your hand if you ever ate a pig ear sandwich. Mustard, ketchup, and hot sauce. Some people just put hot sauce, some just mustard, some just ketchup. I put all three on my pig ear sandwich. So we ate pig ear sandwiches. We ate pigtails with rice and collards and cornbread. We ate pig feet sometimes by themselves, just stewed down. And like I said, when I got with my friends in Florida, I learned how to make sauce. That means you just, you know, cut them up. They called it sauce. Chopped up like this. Now, my experience with sauce at that particular time was sauce meat. And what it is chopped up pork. And they put some kind of gelatin, or maybe the meat makes its own little gelatin that comes out. So it's sliced up like lunch meat. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna cut this one a little bit more. Now those Trotters or pig feet. Y'all know about Trotters? Okay, now the ones who know about Trotters are the serious soul food eaters because that's what we call them, Trotters. In fact, my husband loved to call them Trotters. So I'm not going to try to cut those Trotters because I don't have a, you have to have like a big old cleaver, meat cleaver. And I'm not messing with that cleaver to hack meat and stuff all over the kitchen. So, but what I am going to do with these pigtails, like I say, I'm going to trim. See that extra fat? Now that's some good eating right there. If your body can take it, but I ain't gonna even try to make nobody's body take it today. I'm gonna get that out of there. Okay? And all I have to do is just cut along that line like that. Just cut that off of there. And then what you'll have left is the skin. And there's some lean meat in there too. Okay? And that's a pigtail. Isn't that just the cutest little thing you ever did see? You just cut along, you know, have you a good, nice, sharp knife. And it's not that difficult to cut out. Be careful now. Be very, very careful. This knife is sharp, but it's not as sharp as it needs to be. I can't put my hands on my really, really, really sharp knife. But anyway, just cut that fat right out of there. And you know what? I'm just noticing about the fat. That fat is hard fat. That's some serious fat. That's lard fat right there. You know they make lard out of all that pig fat. You know what, lard cooks the best fried chicken. Had to get away from that too. But you know the things that they say about the oil that we cook with, it kind of scares me because it's worse. We worse off using that seem like than we are with lard. Because when we cook with lard, I'm gonna see what I'm doing here. I don't want to lose that piece of skin right there. So I'm just gonna get that fat off of it and throw that skin right back to be cooked along with the rest of it. So. And look what I'm doing. Y'all, please be careful if you try to cut like this. Please, please, please. I don't want anybody cutting their hand. Okay. Is that, yeah. That fat, I'm telling you, that's some hard fat, honey. That's, you know what? That's probably about a half a pound of lard right there when you get it cooked up. I never made lard in my life, so I'm just talking. So anyway, I'm just having the time of my life. I have not cooked this kind of food since the last time I cooked it for my husband. Okay, so it brings back such great memories. I'm gonna get this off to the side here, and like I've already cleaned up my pig feet because I was gonna cut them, but honey, I couldn't find. The only way I can cut these down is to get through that bone and go through. I'm not doing all that. So I've already washed them and got them cleaned up. So the next thing I want to do with them is get them into my bowl and get them seasoned up. And they're going into a pan. I'm going to put some onions in there. And I'll tell you all along the way what I'm doing. So, but I've still got to wash my tails and my ears. So I'm going to go over here and clean these tails and ears up. And I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. Let's have a little sidebar here. Something I did not mention a few minutes ago. I need to mention it to you. Now, for y'all experienced pig ear, pigtail, and pig feet cookers, you may already know this, but for those of you who want to get adventurous and try it, let me share something with you right quick. These ears, tails, and trotters are exceptionally clean. There's no hair on them hardly. However, I'm taking my hand and I'm running across the feet, thank God, and those tails, nothing. I didn't figure, and what I'm running my hand across for, you know, pigs have little hair on them, and sometimes they have lots of hair on them. And if you don't get them from the right place when you purchase them, you have to, you know, some people, I've known people to burn their hair off and all care, and I can't do all that. I can't go there. Now, the ears, of course, have hair on them. And again, remember I told y'all this is not for the faint of heart. If you don't think you can deal with, because I have to get into it and tell you how to do this now. What I'm doing here, I'm taking my hand and running across. If I feel the slightest little bit of roughness like that, and I'm thinking right there, there might be some little piece of hair that didn't quite get. So all I'm doing is taking my knife and I'm going back against whatever it is I'm feeling. And then I'll rinse. I'll go all the way across there. Just make sure you go all the way across, just to make sure. Just to make sure. And then when you run across there, just take it and rinse it. And now, of course, I'll run across there again to make sure. And I'm still feeling a little something, something right there. So I'll just keep doing this. You know, I mean, it's a process, y'all. Let me tell you what. Again, when I'm cooking, there ain't too many things I miss. Now, all that's being said, you might run across, just like when you clean the chicken, especially the wings. I've gone to, you know, prominent places and eaten, and there was a feather or two still attached. That's just a part of life. I mean, come on, we ain't so great that we can't have nothing go wrong in life. So anyway, but just to safeguard against that, I'm going over these ears because they were the only one parts that felt like anything, like, you know, was anything, felt like a little fuzz right there on the end there. And I'll just keep going across it. Now, the other ones that I've done so far, they did okay. So this one just seemed like it had a little bit more. And I think this was that really, really big one. So that little fella there was kind of big. So that was a big old ear. So he had, you know, anyway, enough of that. But anyway, that's just a little footnote for you all to watch out for as you're cleaning them. Okay, so I'll be back. I got to finish cleaning. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm ready to get this mixture of feet, ears, and tails, or trotter ears and tails into the pot. But you know what, y'all? I don't know if my red pot's going to be big enough or not, but we're going to see. I don't want it too big because I want them to stew down in there. Now, you won't get any shrinkage on this. So what I think I'm going to have to do is get my big old cornucopia pot, because my little red pot, I don't think it's going to accommodate. It's going to make it just right. Whew, I didn't realize how many. This is a big, y'all see, this is a huge bowl. This is an 18-inch round bowl. So let me run and get my cornucopia soup pot. Okay, y'all, let's go. Let's get these trotters, tails, and ears to boiling. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to start out with a gallon of water, and this is my big pot. This pot is a 2-gallon pot, I believe it is. So I got a gallon of water in there, so you got to leave room for your content. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and season that water. I've got 2 tablespoons of salt in there, and everything's going to be basically 2 tablespoons of this, 2 tablespoons of that. I bought this morning some garlic pepper, so I'm going to throw me 2 tablespoons of garlic pepper into that water. Now, mind you, this is about 8 pounds of meat, so that's a lot of meat. Okay. Then, of course, you know I got to put my complete seasoning in there. We can't. 2 tablespoons of that. That's something new to pig feet. We didn't have complete seasoning back when Mom used to cook them. And, of course, I'm going to put me a tablespoon of just black pepper in there. Okay. I don't want to put too much black pepper. A teaspoon. Okay. The reason being, I've got some Scott's barbecue sauce. If you're familiar with Scott's barbecue sauce, the people that made this are local to this area. It's right out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. If you're interested in buying it, Scott's barbecue sauce, P.O. Box 1380, Goldsboro, North Carolina 27530. I'm just giving them a plug. In fact, the Scotts live not too far from me. So, anywho, if you want to buy some Scott's barbecue sauce, I'll try to remember to put that down in the comment section. Y'all know me, I get going and forget. So if I forget it, you can always ask for it later. Okay, I only have about a good 1/4 of a cup. Now, I want to tell you, this stuff is potent, it's good, and it has a vinegar base, of course. This is what is used on our chopped barbecue. And Scott's became famous for this sauce because this is what everybody uses on their chopped barbecue. And they've been doing this for years and years and years. And that family is still around. So I'm going to use this almost all. I'm almost scared because in the bottom, that red stuff in the bottom there, y'all, that is red pepper. It's hot now. And I haven't seen any mild. I think they make it one way and it's hot. And I'm going to be adding some more vinegar to that mix also. Put just a little bit more of, let's see. Okay. I'm going to put about a couple tablespoons of just white vinegar because you want that taste going through them. Not too much, not trying to pickle it or anything like that, but just to get a good flavor going, because eventually I know I'm going to have to add some more water, because these feet, ears, and tails are going to have to cook about 4 hours. Yeah, a long time cooking. And I know I'll have to add some more salt along the way, but for right now, this is where we're going to leave it at. Okay, also, I've got some onions. I've ground up a large onion in my little food chopper, and I'm going to dump that in there. Okay. All right. So that's the water base that I'm going to be putting these tails, trotters, and eels in. So now I'm going to get ready. I really, ideally, you want the water boiling. It's not quite boiling yet, but it will be. So I'm just going to go ahead, because it's got to start from somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and start putting my TTEs in here. Okay. Perfect. Exactly. I needed a gallon of water. Guessed it just right. Okay. So now they're going to be on their way to cooking. Okay. Perfect amount of water. And if, you know, because in the end you want this juicy that almost come down to a stew. Because remember, I tell you I'm going to have yellow rice is going to be one of the side dishes with this. So we want that juice and that broth coming off of those, off that meat. We want it nice and thick, brothy, and flavorful. So we're going to put a little bit over that rice. So there you go. These are going to have to cook, like I said, for the next 3 to 4 hours. I can't even remember which. I know it's a long process anyway. But anywho, that's how you start your trotters, tails, and ears. Again, for those of you who remember, I know y'all shouting for joy. It has been my pleasure to start this meal here today. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cover them like so. And when I know that they're boiling, I'll turn that heat down, cook it on medium low, and just let them cook for about 3 hours. And when they come up out of there, honey, they're going to be nice and soft. And if you like this kind of food, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll never be able to understand it. But like I told somebody before, when I present recipes and meals on my channel, I'm going for what I know. I'm not necessarily putting it out there for anybody to critique me or to add or subtract anything to or from it based on what I'm doing. But now, if you want to take my recipes and modify them, by all means. If you can't eat butter, then don't put butter in it. You know, find something else, either some chicken broth or whatever. Just my thing is to get the flavor going by any means necessary, pretty much, except, you know, anything that's going to be harmful. Now, again, this meal here today is not for the faint of heart. It's not for people who have certain kind of conditions. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm not trying to promote eating unhealthy or anything like that. What is unhealthy eating? Unhealthy eating is whatever goes against you. Okay? These TTEs here, we're going to deal with them later on this afternoon. And my friend is going to have a blast from the past, because I'm going to surprise him with this meal today. Anyway, let me go on and clean the kitchen up, because like I said, this has got to cook for 3 hours. I've got some collards. I only purchased one bunch of collards. So I'm going to chop up. Why let y'all see me do that? I got one bunch of collards because I already got some in the freezer already done. So I'm going to cut this bunch of collards up and get them over here in this pot. I've got some, and see, I'm doing all real, show enough soul food stuff for him. So I got a piece of smoked, let me show you. So when I throw them collards in there, you know what's under them. I got a piece of smoked ham hock in this pot right here. Okay. I'm serious, y'all. We're going to let that continue to cook, and I'm going to go ahead and get these greens ready to put in there. And then when they get done, I will add the greens that I already had in the freezer, because I had cooked some a while back. They were like frozen greens. But I decided today a bunch of fresh ones mixed in with it will just bring the authenticity back, because you got to have the real greens to go with these real TTEs. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here, go ahead and do a cleanup. And of course, I'm prepping for tomorrow. I got a big old dinner planned for tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. And y'all hang around for this sensational Saturday meal. Be right back. Okay, y'all, I am back. We're getting ready to take these Trotters tails and ears out of the boiling pot. They've been cooking like 3.5 hours. Okay. I'm telling you, I have not cooked this kind of food in ages. So what I'm going to do, as I was talking to Tan, she said, "Oh, Mom, something about having a little," she said the ones we ate yesterday had a little bit of crisp on top of them. So I thought, you know what? I ain't never had no pig feet with crisp on top. You know, some people fry their pig feet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run them in the oven for a minute. And we're going to see what we have when they come out the oven. We're gonna get, this is just for the pig feet. That's what she was talking about. I mean, they are cooked to pieces, y'all. I'm just going to put them in here like so. Got 8 pieces of 8 hooves to go in there. Let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I got 1 or 2 more hooves. And I think the pig tails and whatnot. I don't know if y'all can see this right now, but I'm going to put it where you can see it. Okay. Let's move that over a little. There we go. Okay, so we got them out of the boiling water. They're pretty much done. It's gonna firm them up. I see what Tans was talking about, firming them up a little bit. We can certainly do that. I'm not opposed to doing that. So we're gonna put the pig feet in a pan by itself. And we're gonna get the tails and the ears in a pan unto themselves. So we got our the pig ears. Oh, boy, this just reminds me of growing up. I'm telling you, Mom used to cook these, and we used to have pig ear sandwiches. Serious, y'all. Get these pig tails. I'm gonna put the tails and the ears in a pot by themselves. How about that? Yeah, that way we'll be able to differentiate. And remember now, these things have to be highly seasoned, and these are very well seasoned. Whew. You know what? I'm going to be eating more of this than I thought. They're not all that greasy though. Like I said, I cut out some of the, now the pig ears are not greasy at all because they're all gristle pretty much. Okay? And I've just probably cooked them down to nothing almost. But anyway, that's why I like mine, where they're falling off the bone. Okay, so we got all those in there. Make sure we don't leave nothing to waste, because y'all know me. I like to get every drabble, every drip, drabble, drizzle, whatever you want to call it, of my food. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run these pig feet through the oven and let them crisp a little bit on top, and I shall return. Okay, y'all, I've got the pig feet in a pan by itself, and what I've done here is mix a little bit of barbecue sauce, about a 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce, a 1/4 cup of the broth off of those pig feet, and I'm going to just drizzle them like so, and we're going to run them through the oven and see if we can figure out what Tans is talking about, that little crispiness. Let them firm up a little bit, okay? Not a lot of barbecue sauce, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put them in the oven, and we're going to let them a low broil, so they'll sort of dry up and crisp up a little bit. But for all practical purposes, honey, this meal is done. Oh, I got the burner on in front of that, not to worry. Now, I've got my pigtails. Get this out of the way. Let's see, we got the pigtails going. I think I'm going to put them in a larger container. Yeah, I think I need to spread these pigtails and these pig ears out a little bit. Yeah, whew, that's quite a bit in there. So each one of them, see, I told you this is a lot of meat. This is about 6 or 8 pounds of meat. So here's everything. There's the pig feet in that pan by itself. I got my seasoned yellow rice over there on that burner, and my collards right there in that pot, and that's my pigtails and pig ears over there. I mean, I like to cook mine down to the point where you don't have to do nothing but move your mouth up and down. You don't have to stick your teeth into it if you don't want to. How about that? They're nice and tender. Just a little bit of that sauce drizzled on there is all we're gonna do to it. Not a whole lot. Doesn't need a lot because we don't want the barbecue sauce to take over. So drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Each one a little bit. Okay. Okay. So we got everything ready to go into the oven one more time, and then after that it'll be ready to serve up. And by that time my cornbread will be done. I do have a pan of cornbread. Y'all know I got to have cornbread with this. So I'm gonna sign off pretty much here up until the point where everything gets done, and we can get this meal going. I tell you what, this is a Sunday dinner meal actually, but we're gonna have a big treat tomorrow, a real big treat. It's probably an unexpected treat. It's gonna be even more unexpected than this treat is for this meal. So this is Sensational Saturday's meal. Pig feet. I boiled them down to a stew, and I'm going to run them through the oven. Pigtails and pig ears, and of course I got some fresh collards and a few collards that I had in the freezer already cooked. So leftovers serve us up pretty well today as well. So listen, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, for hanging out with me. Again, thank y'all as always for sending me those nice messages, and for subscribing, and for viewing my channel. We are so close to 20,000. I think I went over 18,000 today, or if not, we should be there by now. So we know in the coming couple of weeks that 20,000, we're calling things not as though they were. So I see the 20,000 in a couple of weeks. How about that, y'all? Yeah, that cornbread is ready, so I'll just pop it out, and I can close out here. I didn't want to close out before I got the cornbread out, but I do have the cornbread. Look like it's winking at me, y'all. It's ready. Okay. I think I can get my cornbread here on the end. Okay. Oh, here's my little nice pot holders that Barbara gave me. She's so scared. She says she's so scared one day I'm going to reach in there and pull that stuff right straight out the oven. I won't quite do that, y'all. Okay, there's that beautiful brown pan of cornbread and all that is today, because I know the person I'm cooking this food for loves Jiffy cornbread. I put 1 box of Jiffy cornbread, a cup and a half of yellow cornmeal, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and 1 cup of 3/4 of a cup of oil, and a cup of milk, and then just stir it up, put it right in the oven, and it comes out just perfectly brown, just like that. So guys, I am going to sign off. This is a beautiful, wonderful day, and I think I've cooked a pretty good meal here today for Saturday. Sensational Saturday is what I'm calling it. So until I decide to cook again, y'all, thank y'all one more time, and please, as always, keep those prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down. I love you guys, and believe it or not, I'm going to be meeting up with y'all again for tomorrow on the flavor train. Let's get that right there. Isn't that just a wonderful Saturday meal? Looks like Sunday dinner, doesn't it? But we got a very, very special treat for you for tomorrow for Sunday dinner. So, for all you soul food lovers, all you lovers of tails, pigtails, pig ears, and pig feet, here you go. This is a treat for you. And like I said, this is a meal that's not for the faint of heart. So, like I said, we're going to run those through the oven. And they're not going to look that much different. They'll just crisp up a little bit. So, listen, guys. Love you all. Thanks again for tuning in. Keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. So, until I decide to cook again, I'm going to say love you. Keep on praying now. Keep your brothers and your sisters prayed up. Do something good for yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I'll see you on the flavor train tomorrow. And before that, of course, I'll see you in the kitchen for that special treat. So, until we meet again tomorrow on the for Sunday dinner on the flavor train, I'm gonna say love you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe now. Toodaloo.